The boxing community has been buzzing with predictions in heated anticipation of the potential clash between Gervonta Tank Davis and Frank Martin.
Gervonta Tank Davis will be facing the ghost, Frank Martin Jr. Yeah! That's the I'm talking about, Gervonta. Perfect. Now, I don't know if the fight is going to be at 135 or if it's going to be at 140, but I'm super lit because to me, that Frank Martin is the perfect preparation for Devin the American Dream Haney.
Among the voices is that of Bozy Ennis, a respected figure in the sport who has thrown his support behind Davis. Ennis stated, "That's a good fight, man, but you know I got Tank winning that fight. Martin's a good fighter too, you know, but I think that's a fight that Tank is going to look spectacular on, you know." This endorsement is significant, reflecting the sentiment of many who believe that while Martin is a formidable opponent, Davis possesses the skills and power to dominate and potentially secure a spectacular victory. Further adding to the discourse, Leonard Ellerby, a significant figure in boxing promotion, has also shared his insights. In a conversation with Fight Hype, Ellerby made it clear that he doesn't see Frank Martin posing a substantial challenge to Davis. Ellerby stated, "Frank Martin can't beat Tank Davis. None of those guys can beat Tank Davis. Frank's a good ass fighter. He can't beat Tank though." This statement underlines the perceived gap between Davis and his potential competitors, including Martin. Ellerby also addressed the rumors and speculation about Davis's next fight. While not confirming any specific matchup, he hinted that Davis would be returning to the ring soon, possibly headlining a major event on Amazon Prime pay-per-view this summer. He underscored that Davis himself would announce his next fight. Ellerby stated, "Tank will decide who he's fighting, and when he decides that, he'll make an announcement. Tank is the boss. He'll be fighting soon." These insights from industry professionals and key figures add depth to the anticipation surrounding the potential matchup. While Martin's confidence and ambition position him as a formidable challenger eager to prove his worth, the consensus among boxing insiders seems to tilt significantly toward Davis. Amidst this whirlwind of opinions, Eddie Hearn, a prominent figure in boxing promotion, has offered his take on the matchup in an interview with Fight Hype. Hearn said, "I mean, yeah, it's all right. It's an easy fight for Tank, but Frank Martin is a good little fighter. I don't think he's going to do mad numbers. But yeah, it's a good fight." Hearn's perspective provides a blend of realism and promotional insight, particularly considering the timing of the fight and the choice of opponent for Davis. Eddie Hearn remarked on the fight, indicating that while it might not be the blockbuster event some were anticipating for Davis's return, it represents a strategic move for Tank. On the other hand, Gervonta Davis has revealed the $10 million guaranteed financial proposal he received from promoter Eddie Hearn for a bout against Conor Benn. The deal includes not only the guaranteed $10 million, but also a percentage of pay-per-view profits and ticket sales revenue. Davis criticized Hearn on social media, alleging that the financial terms presented to him were insufficient. He said, "I was just trying to be good for the sport, but the spoon-fed Eddie Hearn keeps trying to cheat me out of my money. If only $5 million is guaranteed, can pay-per-view and gate revenue elevate the total to $10 million?
Gervonta, I should have learned by now that Gervonta just posts any DM. Yeah. And I'm just like, I saw he was talking last night about he's unhappy. I would like to start conversations for the Devin Haney, Gervonta Davis fight. So I just texted him and said, "Let's talk." And he said, "No." Well, he actually said a bit more, but he didn't post a bit that he said after that. But yeah, so that was it really. So I don't think he's very interested in a Devin Haney fight, but who knows?
Did I miss something in regards to, you said that he had said something along the lines of not being happy?
Yeah, he said that he was waiting for a call from Al, or, don't be surprised if you see him elsewhere next. And I thought, oh, okay, so slid in.
Insinuating might be, free agent?
Obviously, we can offer massive money for that fight in many different countries around the world. So I just wanted to see if he was interested in a Devin Haney fight, but clearly not. It was very short and sharp.
Moreover, the match between Tank and Martin isn't generating much enthusiasm among fans. Martin, who seemed unremarkable in his recent match and had to stage a late comeback to narrowly defeat Artem Harutyunyan last July, is not well known. Consequently, this fight might attract only the most dedicated boxing enthusiasts or those who find it particularly intriguing. It's viewed as less competitive and ranks lower in the list of bouts fans wish to see from Tank Davis. Conversely, following their sparring, Martin shared his thoughts in an interview with Fight Hype. Reflecting on his sparring experience with Tank, Martin commented, "It was good work. I held my own. He held his. Good experience. He's sharp. I don't think Leo is going to have the speed or the reflexes. You gotta have some power. You gotta be able to hold your own in there because Tank's a beast." In addition, when questioned whether Gervonta Davis was the most formidable puncher he had ever faced, Martin responded negatively. He said, "Nah, it's a Mexican boxer I sparred with. His name is Pablo." However, Martin concluded by saying, "He got some power. He can crack. Good timing, Sharp." Martin's own recount of a sparring sparring session with Davis sheds light on his confidence and insight into Davis's capabilities. Despite not being able to showcase the sparring to the public, Martin describes the experience positively, highlighting his ability to match Davis's prowess in the ring.
What do you think of the fight?
We could go. We could go. We could go. You know, I just fought the title eliminator or whatever for the WBA, so we could go.
What would that fight look like?
It'll be a good fight. It'll be an explosive fight, two fast fighters, two strong, explosive fighters. It'll be a dope, dominant fight, you know. Explosive fight. It'll be an explosive fight.
Do you feel like you guys being familiar with each other from sparring and whatnot, that would play a role in the fight at all?
Nah, you know, that was years ago. You know what I mean? So he had come to the ring with something different, and then, you know, vice versa, I'd do the same.
Former boxing professional Andre Rozier recently weighed in with his opinion and forecast regarding the impending matchup. Rozier, who shares a close bond with Davis and affectionately refers to him as his nephew, reiterated his steadfast backing for Davis in any contest, including the speculated bout against Martin. He said, "While it promises to be an exceptional matchup, I'll forever remain a staunch supporter of Gervonta. He has my unwavering support, and I'll always be in his corner." While acknowledging Frank Martin's skills as a fighter, Rozier stressed the necessity for Martin to elevate his performance significantly to pose a threat to Davis. He likened this required level of performance to upgrading from a basic car to a luxury model like a Lexus or Genesis, indicating that only top-tier boxing would suffice against a fighter of Davis's caliber. "Frank's gotta go from driving a Honda to a Lexus if he wants to compete with Tank," Rozier explained, highlighting the gap he perceives between the two fighters. Although Rozier conveyed his respect for Martin, he voiced doubts about Martin's capacity to endure Davis's force and power, hinting that Davis would likely triumph if the fight materialized. "The power and intensity Tank brings, I'm not sure Martin's ready for that," Rozier speculated, questioning Martin's ability to withstand Davis's onslaught. Regarding the relevance of sparring sessions and readiness for actual bouts, Rozier minimized the importance of rumors, suggesting Martin had previously outperformed Davis during sparring. He contended that sparring primarily serves as a means to hone one's craft and refine skills, rather than a definitive gauge of how a genuine fight would transpire. "Sparring is just practice. It doesn't always tell you what's going to happen in a real fight," Rozier remarked, downplaying the significance of their sparring history. Rozier's forecast for the fight is grounded in his trust in Davis's capabilities and his conviction regarding the significance of experience and power in the ring. While recognizing Martin's talent, Rozier's analysis implies that Davis's seasoned experience, formidable power, and capacity to excel under pressure would afford him the advantage in a bout against Martin. Meanwhile, Showbiz expressed his enthusiasm for the potential matchup between Gervonta Davis and Frank Martin, highlighting the strategic importance of this fight for Davis's career. "This isn't just another fight for Tank. This is a step towards bigger things," Showbiz noted, emphasizing the significance of the bout in the broader context of Davis's career trajectory.
Gervonta Tank Davis versus Frank Martin in June. Now, I do have other details that I've been privy to, that information, but I'm going to wait for the information to be released by the powers that be. And listen, Gervonta, I had to break it to my community. Don't slap me, brother, or threaten to slap me.
He elaborated on the unique challenge posed by Martin's fighting style, describing it as a crucial test for Davis before potentially facing Devin, the American Dream Haney. "Frank Martin brings that high IQ, that movement, that ability to fight off the back foot. It's exactly the kind of challenge Tank needs before taking on someone like Haney," Showbiz observed, pointing out the tactical dimensions that Martin could introduce to Davis. Furthermore, Showbiz considered the implications of the fight's outcome for Davis's future, particularly the adjustment to fighting at a higher weight class. "If Tank can handle Martin, especially at 140 pounds, it's going to be a good sign for his readiness against Haney or even Ryan Garcia," he speculated, linking the outcome of this bout to Davis's potential matchups in the future. Throughout his commentary, Showbiz's excitement was palpable as he considered the various ways this fight could impact the lightweight division. He was particularly interested in how Davis would adapt to Martin's style and whether this bout could set the stage for Davis to challenge other top contenders in the division.
Be more weight drained and shit. I mean, 175 it's just more natural for him. It's 7 pounds up north, right? I mean, it's just more natural for him. He wants to make his own legacy fighting both.
Ryan Garcia also shared his insights and expectations regarding the potential showdown between Gervonta Davis and Frank Martin, displaying his usual enthusiasm and support for his stablemate, Frank Martin. Garcia highlighted the strong bond he shares with Martin, noting their regular training sessions together, which he believes offers him a unique perspective on Martin's capabilities and approach to the fight against Davis. "Frank's like a brother to me. We've sweated and bled together in the gym," Garcia said, illustrating the depth of their relationship and mutual respect. Showing his unwavering support for Martin, Garcia expressed excitement at the prospect of the fight, stating, "I would love that." He showcased his readiness to assist Martin in his preparation for the bout, underlining the solidarity and mutual support that exists between stablemates. "Whatever Frank needs to prepare, I'm there for him," Garcia said, indicating his commitment to helping Martin gear up for the high-stakes matchup. Garcia's confidence in Martin was evident as he praised his stablemate's abilities. "Frank's got all the tools to come out on top against Tank," Garcia remarked, reflecting his belief in Martin's comprehensive skill set and potential to pose a significant challenge to Davis. While Garcia stopped short of revealing any specific strategies or inside knowledge, he hinted at a deep understanding of both fighters' strengths and weaknesses, likely gleaned from shared experiences and discussions within their circle. "There are things I know that could really give Frank the edge," Garcia suggested, hinting at strategic insights without divulging details. In sum, Garcia's statements reflect his enthusiasm for the fight and his belief in Martin's readiness to take on such a formidable opponent as Davis. His insights provide a unique lens through which fans and analysts can gauge the potential dynamics of this eagerly anticipated bout. Lennox Lewis, the former heavyweight world champion, offers a nuanced take on the potential showdown between Gervonta Davis and Frank Martin. He said, "In the lightweight division, power translates differently than in heavier categories. Davis's knockout ability is well documented and could very well be the deciding factor in this matchup. However, Lewis doesn't overlook Martin's capabilities, pointing out that his technical skill set and ring intelligence could turn the tide in his favor if the fight extends over the full distance." Lewis added, "We can't discount Martin. His technique and understanding of the ring could level the playing field, especially if the fight goes the distance." Lewis's balanced view reflects the unpredictability of boxing, where a single punch can change everything, but strategy and endurance are equally important. Andre Ward, the former super middleweight and light heavyweight champion, brings a seasoned fighter's insight into the analysis of the Davis versus Martin fight. He acknowledged, "Davis's aggressive style and knockout capability are undeniable strengths, but we shouldn't underestimate Martin's strategic mindset and his ability to adapt in the ring." Ward expects the match to be closely contested, but leans towards Davis's corner, noting, "In the heat of those big moments, Davis's experience and his calm under pressure are likely to guide him to victory as the fight progresses into the later rounds." Ward predicts a tightly contested battle, but believes that Davis's experience in big moments and his proven track record under pressure will see him emerge victorious in the later stages of the fight. On the other hand, Teddy Atlas, known for his tactical acumen, zeroes in on the strategic dimensions of the matchup. He suggests that Martin should leverage his jab and superior footwork to manage the distance and potentially frustrate Davis. He said, "For Martin to succeed, he needs to use his jab effectively and maintain superior footwork to control the distance and potentially disrupt Davis's rhythm." Despite recognizing Martin's tactical opportunities, Atlas leans towards Davis's corner, explaining, "Davis has a unique ability to close distances swiftly and unleash powerful shots that can turn the tide of the fight in an instant." As you can see, Atlas ultimately sides with Davis, citing his ability to bridge gaps quickly and land powerful shots that can alter the course of a bout instantly. On the other hand, some interesting information about the fight has been revealed by Blue Blood Sports.
So, it's being reported that undefeated lightweight star title contender Frank the Ghost Martin, 18 wins, no loss, no draw, 12 wins by way of knockout, 5'8" with a 68-inch arm reach, could be and is leading the race to face Gervonta Tank Davis, superstar boxer who is widely acknowledged as the face of the sport of boxing, if not one of the faces of the sport of boxing. With that said, people are saying that Frank the Ghost Martin is a cherry pick for Gervonta Tank Davis. Fans are not happy that it's a possibility that Frank Martin is going to face Gervonta Tank Davis in March. But I have this to say. Out of Gervonta Tank Davis's last 4 to 5 opponents, Frank the Ghost Martin presents the biggest challenge to Gervonta Tank Davis than all of them. Gervonta Tank Davis is a power puncher, we know. 29 wins, no loss.
Meanwhile, Eddie Hearn, the prominent promoter, looks at the Davis versus Martin bout through the lens of business and spectacle, noting the massive public interest and the buildup surrounding the fight. He acknowledges both fighters have had impressive journeys to get to this point, which has only amplified the anticipation. However, Hearn tips his hat to Davis, stating, "When it comes to performing under the bright lights and high stakes, Davis has consistently shown he can rise to the occasion." Hearn's perspective highlights the critical role of experience and mental fortitude in the high-pressure environment of major major boxing events. Stephen A. Smith, the animated sports commentator, infuses the conversation with his distinctive energy and passion, focusing on the captivating narrative that a stunning knockout can create. Smith is particularly drawn to the dynamic interplay between brute force and meticulous strategy, a balance he believes Davis exemplifies exceptionally well. He ardently backs Davis, citing his track record of dramatic conclusions to fights. Smith elaborates, Davis's knack for securing victories through sheer knockout power is not just about winning. It's about enthralling the masses and stamping his authority in the boxing world, making him a standout in this highly anticipated face-off. Furthermore, Smith delves into the broader implications of the fight, suggesting that Davis's performances are more than just fights. They're events that transcend the sport, captivating not just hardcore boxing fans, but casual observers as well. According to Smith, it's this unique blend of athleticism, showmanship, and that unforgettable punch that not only defines Davis's career, but also elevates the entire sport of boxing. In Smith's view, while Martin presents a formidable challenge with his skill and tactical acumen, the overarching narrative leans heavily towards Davis's explosive power and flair for the dramatic elements that Smith believes will ultimately lead to a compelling victory for Davis in this much-anticipated bout. Sean Porter, the former world champion, brings a fighter's insight to the table, underlining the importance of staying calm and having a solid defense, traits he attributes to Martin. Porter acknowledges, in high-stakes matches, it's not just about how hard you can hit, but also how well you can avoid getting hit, areas where Martin shines. However, he believes the defining factor will be Davis's explosive power and his ability to land game-changing punches, especially when the pressure mounts. And Max Kellerman, the seasoned boxing analyst, delves deep into the tactical aspects of the Davis versus Martin fight. He predicts, we're likely to see a chess match in the early rounds with Martin employing his sharp skills to stay competitive. Kellerman, however, foresees a turning point where Davis's inherent power becomes too much for Martin, suggesting, despite Martin's best efforts, I expect Davis's dynamism and punch strength to eventually penetrate his defenses, likely resulting in a technical knockout in the mid to late rounds. Overall, Kellerman predicts that Davis's dynamic power will eventually break through Martin's defenses, leading to a significant victory via a mid to late round technical knockout. Clarissa Shields brings her wealth of experience into the conversation, focusing on the often underestimated mental and psychological elements of boxing. She acknowledges, Martin's mental fortitude and discipline are his strengths. These qualities could potentially make him the unexpected victor in this battle. Yet, Shields holds a firm belief in Davis's holistic approach to boxing, noting, Davis isn't just about physical power. His dynamic fighting style and proven track record of concluding fights decisively make him my pick. She posits that while Martin's resilience and strategic mindset make him a formidable opponent, Davis's multifaceted approach and knack for seizing the moment will likely guide him to triumph. Meanwhile, the DAZN boxing show recently debated Frank Martin's readiness to face significant figures like Gervonta Davis. Akin Reyes said, he has a lot of attention as he trains in that Derek James stable, and he's been calling out big names like Tank and Keyshawn Davis, so he ran into a guy who came to win and he had a tough fight. Reyes highlighted on the show that Martin, training under Derek James and calling out renowned fighters like Davis, encountered a formidable opponent recently, which tested his skills and revealed some areas of concern, despite his overall dominance and skill in the ring. On the other hand, Barack Bess offered a different angle, pointing out that Martin's recent opponent, despite not being well known, was an Olympic medalist with genuine skills. He said, people were talking about him with the big names. He wanted those fights. Is it safe to say that after that performance, we have to take a step back and say he needs a couple of big wins over B-class fighters before talking about Tank and those guys? He argued that facing and being challenged by such opponents shouldn't immediately discredit a fighter's status. Bess seemed to advocate for evaluating Martin's potential based on his overall abilities and the quality of his opponents, rather than one tough match. These varied perspectives highlight the complexity of the Davis versus Martin matchup. While most experts lean towards Davis, citing his proven power and big fight experience, they also acknowledge Martin's technical skills and strategic mind. So that's all from today's video. If you enjoyed it, remember to leave a like, subscribe, and ring that bell icon so you never miss our upcoming videos.